To harp on too much about the injury list. It's been there and evident for a few months. Alfie missing out with a back injury certainly will hurt the team in terms of you taking out the majority of your goals, but it does always open up the door for the likes of Tyrese Campbell, for the likes of Kanu to stake a claim. You know, a really strong performance today, and the likelihood is you're going to start the next. Just looking up to see how Oxford line up. It's interesting, Danny said there could be a back five. You know, we were told otherwise, but we'll just get on top of that as soon as the game gets underway.
On the face of it, looks like a 4, but we'll see how that pans out. It will be Oxford to get us underway, and they're all blue this afternoon. Charlton, of course, traditional red shirts, white shorts, red socks. And it'll be Oxford attacking the covered end in the first half, defending the Jimmy Seed. We are underway here at the Valley. Oxford immediately going down the right-hand side, looking for Stevens. Goes over his head. It'll be an early throw for Charlton on the left with Teo Eden, about 10 yards away from the Charlton corner flag. And we won't really know how the setup is until the game pans out a little bit more. Stevens could be the sort of right wing back of a 5. We'll see as Eden prepares to take this throw. Looking for Corey Blackett-Taylor, and Kanu's there as well. It goes beyond Blackett-Taylor. Oxford picking up in midfield. They'll send the ball back. It's a bit of a streaky ball, and Smith back there on the right-hand side will get it back to his keeper. So, strange touch from Beadle, of course, formerly of Charlton. And stepping in there is Anderson, almost picking the pocket of the Oxford defence. They just about get away with it, and it's in the middle with Brannigan. Anderson again back there, buzzing round him, but Brannigan comes away with the ball and sends it right to Stevens. Little touch forward to Harris, who sends it down the Charlton left-hand side. Buzzing around there is Rodriguez, who takes the throw quickly, goes backwards, and it's with Moore, centre half. To his right, looking like he's playing it right back as Smith. Sends the ball forward, looking for the run, and there's an offside flag against Mark Harris. Charlton have a free kick. And it does look like a back four for Oxford. Charlton...
I think, like everything, in modern-day football, it can switch very quickly from a 4 to a 3. You know, it literally can change as we sit here and discuss. But I'm not sure about that offside. No pressure on the ball. Bit of a risk for me. Decent run from Harris. I think he'll be annoyed with himself that he got caught offside. He could see the defenders in front of him, and he had to gauge it off. Just slightly delay that run. I'd be encouraged if I was him.
Charlton playing it around the back, and then it's Eden sends it forward. Kanu trying to make a run into the channel, but there's too much on that ball, and it'll drift away for a goal kick to Oxford. It looks like they're playing just with Mark Harris as a lone striker, and Rodriguez to his right, and Brannigan to the left behind him.
Yeah, that's sort of what we were led to believe, that Rodriguez would play in the pocket off of Harris. But again, immaterial really. You know, we're on the front foot here in a setup that is designed hopefully to press quite quickly.
Kanu does that. Beadle does get the ball away, but it deflects off of Eden back to Jones. He's going to look for it again. Eden being forced backwards, but he does well to turn away and get the ball up to Blackett-Taylor. It's another header from Eden. Blackett-Taylor can't keep it in. It's a shame, because he was away if he had managed it down that left-hand side, because Smith had just drifted forward. But it will be a throw to Oxford early on the right-hand side. 20 yards or so inside their own half. Thrown into the feet of Rodriguez, but it's good battling from Dobson and Chem Campbell also. And Charlton win the ball back. Hector out to the right-hand side, and Watson. Ball forward, looking for Tyrese Campbell on the right-hand side. He's got beyond his man. Tyrese Campbell cuts back in. Possibility to cross it here, does so. Chem Campbell will jump, can't get there. It just goes over his head, and Smith swipes it clear. An early chance for Charlton. And now some defending to do from Michael Hector, with Harris buzzing around him. He does well, Hector. Comes away with the ball, finds Jones. To his left is Eden in space on halfway. Blackett-Taylor further left, Dobson inside. And it's Dobson turning away, going back in the middle to Michael Hector. Watson again available on the right-hand side. Brannigan coming across. Anderson making a run into the channel, but that was covered off, so the ball comes back into Hector and across to Jones on the left side of the centre circle. Ball forward to Dobson. Jones gets it back, he's looking right. Hector available, and Watson still available on the right, but so is Tyrese Campbell further forward. Tyrese Campbell again with Anderson making a run ahead. Covered off by 4 Oxford players, so the ball goes back to Watson, inside to Dobson. It's a good little trio, but the ball from Dobson out to Anderson just a little too crisp, and just behind him It's away for an Oxford throw.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised they're allowing us as much time and space to just play the ball across the back line. Hector with a super ball out just moments ago, which led Tyrese Campbell down the line after a ball from Watson. And what I would say is, I mean, that was a back five without any shadow of a doubt in that last setup, in that last phase of play. So they are flipping in and out of that system. But I wouldn't allow us that much time and space on the ball.
Well, Oxford have avoided the Charlton press and come forward, but that's good retrieving from Chem Campbell. He's won the ball back, and Dobson is there and on hand to pass it out to Blackett-Taylor on the left, attacking Smith. Still Blackett-Taylor, goes past Smith, drills it across, keeper punches it away, Chem Campbell finishes for Charlton! On the edge of the 6-yard box, the Addicts have the lead. Super work from Chem Campbell to follow that in, but Blackett-Taylor was the man to attack Smith down this Charlton left-hand side, drilled it across, Beadle couldn't hold on to it, Campbell on hand to pounce.
Yeah, sloppy start from Oxford, and you've got to capitalise. The one thing we said about our bright start at Bristol Rovers a few days ago was that we didn't capitalise when we were on top. This time we have. I thought the opportunity had gone actually when the rebound came to Chem Campbell, but he managed to sort his feet out nice and quickly and found a way to drive that ball into the back of the net. But yeah, that's a sloppy start, if you ask me, from the visitors. Not got tight, allowed us too much freedom in the park to attack, and we've attacked down the right and down the left in these first opening minutes, and they find themselves behind.
Well, Smith on the Oxford right-hand side must have known what he was up against with Blackett-Taylor. Well, he certainly does now. Beadle couldn't hold on to it, parried it straight into the path of Campbell, who pounced superbly and into the back of the net to give Charlton this lead after 5 minutes, and the perfect start to 2024 so far. Can we continue in that vein as Oxford try and build through to Rodriguez? He has to go backwards to Moore. Across to the left-hand side is Brown. Further left. Closed off by Watson. That's good work from Watson, stopping Bennett going forward on that left-hand side and forcing him into a rushed pass out. It's away for a Charlton throw. Just to the right of the Charlton dugouts. Ball thrown into Anderson. Goes backwards sensibly to Maynard Brewer.
Yeah, that's good, but I think that pass can go straight to Jones for me. You know, they boxed over Oxford, the left side, Charlton's left side, free and available. Excellent in terms of Anderson's first touch. Can you miss a keeper out? Go straight to Jones, who's then on the front foot.
It's Jones in possession now, goes out to Eden. Jones available again for the return. Just inside the Charlton half, Jones got Hector to his right. Anderson has pulled away to the right-hand side. Tanae Watson has come in. Tyrese Campbell comes short, tries to set up Anderson, but that was read by Brannigan. That's a fantastic tackle from Tanae Watson. It's now away for an Oxford throw.
Bennett took a little bit of risk there. I think a little bit of communication early, and Tyrese Campbell could have taken that on the back foot, and away he went.
Bennett's ball inside is picked off by Chem Campbell. He's got Blackett-Taylor on the left. Blackett-Taylor into the penalty area, up towards the 6-yard box. Takes a shot. Beadle saves it away. Blackett-Taylor back on it, out to Eden. Eden lifts the ball into the box. Tyrese Campbell trying to make space in that penalty area. Drills it into towards the goal, but just left at a post, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, very good start. This is becoming 7.5 minutes in. That's a wonderful save from James Beadle, low down from the Blackett-Taylor strike. This is really, really sloppy from Oxford. That's a wayward pass in the centre of the pitch that's been picked off by Chem Campbell and led to that last attempt. They've got to sharpen up and quick, and we've got to take advantage while they're this sloppy.
They're trying to play the ball out again, and McGuane comes short and almost got caught on the ball, but they managed to release down their left-hand side to Bennett. Back inside to McGuane. Again, in his own half, swings it across here to Stevens on the right-hand side. Forced backwards to Smith. Smith's got Moore inside and also Brown available on the left. Brannigan coming short, goes to Bennett instead, and Bennett heavy touch. Tyrese Campbell trying to pounce, Carno likewise, but it's inside to Moore. Moore trying again, swinging across to Stevens on the right. Eden comes across, Stevens. Heavy touch allows Eden to get something on the ball, and surely he's pulled down there. Yep, it's Stevens trying to get past Eden, just gave Eden a little tug on the shirt to pull him over, and Charlton have a free kick.
That's a super ball from the Oxford captain, Elliot Moore. One little touch, lovely diagonal out to Stevens. I'm quite surprised how much time and space they're allowing us to have. We're a team that's a little bit out of, well, not a little bit out of form, we're out of form. You know, and we've been under pressure here at the Valley recently. I thought that the opposite would have applied. Look at that.
Another loose ball back inside. The referee comes to McGuane's rescue with the free kick. Anderson guilty of pulling him back. Oxford not taking the free kick where the referee wants them to. It's just inside the Charlton half on the left for Oxford. Ball goes back to Brown. Inside to Moore, halfway inside his own half. McGuane ahead of him, gives it back to his captain. And to the left is Brown. Inside to McGeecran, back out to Brown. Sends it forward, looking for the run of Harris, but that's into the penalty area and claimed by Maynard Brewer. He rolls it out to Dobson, turns. Got Rodriguez buzzing round him, but it's a ball out to Anderson, or just misses it. I think he was trying to guide it into towards Therese Campbell, but didn't put anything on the ball, and Oxford have it back. And it's guided back to James Beadle, the ex-Charlton youth player. He gives it to his captain Moore, out to Brown. Inside to McGuane, back to Moore. Charlton pressing, Kanu now pressing Brown, and Brown does puts his hands out in desperation. There was no movement and allowed Kanu just close him down. Blocked the attempted ball out. Will be a throw to Oxford, parallel to their own penalty area on the left-hand side.
Not surprised to see Des Buckingham in deep conversation in his technical area. You know, looking to see what little adjustments can be made to try and get a little bit more out of this performance as it stands.
Throw down the left is cut out by Dobson. He's found Anderson, who's just couldn't get it under his control, and Oxford clear it away. Again, Dobson in on the challenge, though, wins the ball back for Charlton. To Jones. Eden just getting caught under his feet, but he's managed to find Blackett-Taylor on the left, who trying to go past Stevens, who's back helping out on this occasion. And Stevens manages to stop Blackett-Taylor. Got the ball back to Smith, who's just got the ball off Tayo Eden. It'll be an Oxford United throw, halfway inside the Oxford half on their right-hand side. Throw goes back to Smith. Into the middle is McGeecran. Back to his captain Moore, and to the left now is Brown. He's got space to run into on this occasion, but he's left to Bennett. Still in the Oxford half, back to Moore. And Stevens looking for it on this right-hand side, but it's a ball parallel right and short to Smith, who's got nowhere to go. Has to go back inside to Moore. And Charlton, again, keen to press Oxford in possession. Moore, just inside the, or just to the edge of the centre circle. Smith to his right. Picks out Brown, slightly risky ball, but Brown has it under control. Crossing the halfway line, ball down the line to Bennett. Back inside to McGuane. Ball across to the middle, and Brannigan in a bit of space now, can find Stevens to his right. Stevens held up by Eden. He's back inside to McGeecran. McGuane to the left is Brown, well forward on this Oxford attack. Out to Bennett. Back inside to Brown. Charlton doing well to stop the progress of Oxford and force them back all the way to Moore. To the right is Smith. He has got a little bit of space. Yeah, listen, Brannigan's causing us a few issues with his positioning. He's asking questions of fullbacks and centre halves, and he's trying to pull them out into a pocket they don't want to come. George Dobson's got, just communicate to George Dobson, left or right. He's got to pick one of them up, because it's affecting our fullbacks at the moment. They've got a little 2v1 in fullback areas. They're not utilising it, Oxford. They're not moving the ball quick enough. Speaking of fullbacks, it's Tanay Watson who does an important tackle in. Chem Campbell releases Blackett-Taylor into the edge of the penalty area. Blackett-Taylor still in possession, takes the shot, blocked away by Smith. It'll be a Charlton corner. Yeah, they're forcing them out wide every single time. They're blocking up the inside channel quite well. And if I was Blackett-Taylor, I'd just keep taking it for now. Just keep taking that line. I don't think the defender's got enough pace to deal with him. Corner quickly taken short. It's Chem Campbell, edge of the area. Turning one way, then back out and to his right. Still Chem Campbell. Right side of the penalty area. Lifts the ball into the box. Cleared away by Brown. I don't know why he had the extra touch. Yeah. Not sure. You're all geared up to that cross coming in on the first one to take the touch. All those runs are dead. Oxford there, everybody back in their own half as Tayo Eden collects. The 1-2 with Dobson. Still Tayo Eden as Jones coming back from forward position. Ball up to Chem Campbell. He can't get it under control though. McGuane will take McGuane will take over. And it is now McGuane. Into McGuane again in the centre circle. Back to Moore. In central position in his own half. Back out to McGuane. McGuane looking left to Bennett. Brannigan makes a run ahead. Bennett cuts inside. Therese Campbell buzzing around him. Doing really well, Therese Campbell, forcing him backwards to Brown, who in turn goes back to James Beadle in the Oxford penalty area. Charlton just managing to prevent Oxford from making any real progress beyond the halfway line. And that's another loose pass, which Anderson can't collect. And now this time, Oxford might be able to pounce. Ball right to Rodriguez. ahead of everybody. Rodriguez into the penalty area, drills it. That's a lovely save by Maynard Brewer, and Tayo Eden tidies up and gets the ball away for a Oxford throw on the far side.
Yeah, it's an excellent save. Good move from Oxford. It was a misjudgment, obviously, from Croy Anderson. And once it bounces over him, we're in a bit of bother. At least the shot was forced in from the angle.
Brannigan tries to send it across to Stevens on the right-hand side. His attempted cross is blocked away by Tayo Eden, but it'll be a corner to Oxford. The first time, really, they've threatened in this first half. We're almost quarter of an hour in. Charlton have the lead. Oxford have a corner.
Yeah, and it's off the back of a misjudgment rather than scintillating play. But it is, for me, at the moment, it's about where Rodriguez and Brannigan are taking up their positions when Oxford are in play. They haven't made enough of the possession they've had and the positions that they've been in.
It's a Brannigan corner. Swung into the near side of the 6-yard box. It's a brave header coming in there from Daniel Kanu. And Therese Campbell just plays on the side of safety, gets the ball out of play. It'll be a Oxford United throw in their own half. McGuane coming back to take it. Gets it back to Beadle outside of his penalty area. To his left is Brown. Inside is Moore. Central position again inside his own half.
It's that sort of box midfield we keep seeing. 6 and 18 are at the bottom of it. And we're locking on that with Chem Campbell and Croy Anderson. And then Dobson's the deeper midfielder. And either side of him, pinching him, are Rodriguez and Brannigan. And if they can work the ball well, Oxford, they will have options.
It's a ball down the line. It's picked out Bennett beyond Therese Campbell. Ball into the centre to Rodriguez. He's got Smith away to his right-hand side. Smith in the area, goes backwards and across. Brannigan with a shot. It's a lovely block from Hector. But the ball's still on the edge of the Charlton penalty area. Hector again with the interception. Gets the ball forward, but McGuane picks it up. Inside to Smith. Foot in from Eden. Brannigan with the shot. Blocked away to McGeekran. Back to McGuane. McGeekran once more. Out to the right-hand side is Smith. Ball in the middle of McGeekran. Charlton have weathered that mini storm. But Brown has it for Oxford. Ball forward to Brannigan. Tried to lift it into the centre, but it's gone straight to Dobson. Trying to get it under control. Dobson. Anderson, the target. There's a hand in there from McGuane, I think. Charlton will have a free kick.
Yeah, and it's quite nice when actually Brannigan takes up that position and he's close to the centre half, because it allows Hector to do what he did there, which is make the challenge. But it's a wonderful block. It's an excellent move from Oxford. The cutback was the right ball for me, but nice to see one of our centre halves rushing out to make the block, and it was a good block from Hector.
And important as well, it keeps the score at 1-0 to Charlton. Chem Campbell with the goal, separating the two sides as we go through the 16-minute mark. Jones lifts the ball forward, looking for Blackett Taylor, but Smith will intercept with the header. Goes right to Stevens, back inside to Smith. Across in the middle is Brown. Moving left, Bennett further left. Kanu putting him under pressure. Forced back to Beadle in the Oxford United penalty area. Moore takes over in front. Bringing it out. And touch to McGeekran. Now out to Brown once more. On the left, space to run into. Anderson now closing that space down. It goes out to Bennett. Forced back by Therese Campbell to Brown once more. In the centre is McGeekran. Back to Moore. Looks for the ball forward to Rodriguez. Dobson comes across. Campbell comes across as well, and then fouls Rodriguez in the process. Quick free kick taken. It's easy to say. And Smith then tries to send it across to Bennett on the left-hand side. Does so. Bennett, left side of the penalty area. Back to Brannigan. Brannigan trying to lose Tanae Watson. Has to go back to McGuane. Anderson trying to force him back. Does so to Smith. Central position inside the Charlton half this occasion. Ball forward up to Harris. Little touch back to McGuane. He's got Stevens out on the right-hand side. Stevens, instant ball forward, but Dobson read that and cuts it out. And he finds Blackett Taylor ahead of him. Blackett Taylor thought about running, but Stevens got back. And the ball back to Eden. Just touched it ahead of Rodriguez, who was a bit late on the challenge. Eden goes down. Charlton have a free kick.
Yeah. But their setup's very good, actually. They're just not making the most of the positions they find themselves in, Oxford, but they are asking questions of us. I don't like the fact Dobson's got a player either side, and we're allowing that to stay like that. He's going to come under a lot of pressure as this game progresses if he's going to have to take or try and pick up Rodriguez and Brannigan. I mean, all he can do is try and let it go to one and pressurise and show him away from where Oxford have a numerical advantage. But It's moments like that where they're in great possession, Oxford. They've got the setups in. You can see the way that the manager wants them to play. They're in a good setup and they give the ball away.
Hector forward to Campbell, out to Blackett-Taylor on the left. Blackett-Taylor again taking on Stevens on this occasion. Goes left, goes right, step over, ball across the box is a good one. Corner with a header. Oh, it comes off of Brown and away for the corner for Charlton. But again, lovely work from Blackett-Taylor, fouled by Chem Campbell. From the quick thinking of Michael Hector, lifted it across beyond Beadle, and Carnew's header was goal bound, needed the interception from Brown.
Yeah, and actually I thought that was going to find the back of the net. It's a bit of a risk at the far post. You're just jumping up, hoping it hits you, and it did. They've got away with one there, Oxford, but Blackett-Taylor just keep feeding the ball 1v1. He has got the beating of his opposite number, Stevens.
Charlton corner, headed away by Moore. Further header away. Dobson, though, meets it towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to pick out Carnew. It's cleared away, this time by Smith. To Brannigan. Brannigan cuts inside Blackett-Taylor, still on the ball. Brannigan inside the Oxford half, switches it across to the left. Rodriguez cuts inside, lifts the ball into the penalty area, looking for the Harana Harris, but they'll go straight to Maynard Brewer. And on 20 minutes, Charlton still a goal ahead as Dobson brings it out from midfield. Forward to Chem Campbell. Campbell with Rodriguez buzzing around him. Campbell, though, still in possession, goes past him. That's a lovely ball down the line. Oh, I said it was a lovely ball. Looked it when it left his foot, but unfortunately it goes straight out of play for an Oxford throw.
Actually, it was a good position as well. Tayo Edens off the shoulder, in behind. If you can just feed that into the channel, we've got potentially a very good attacking situation. But again, just at Oxford, I thought they were forcing that last pass. They were in a good position, setup's good again, tried to play. I can see why. Decent run on a diagonal, tried to play him in, but forced for me.
Hector's ball forwards, an easy one for Moore to header away. Dobson meets it. His header goes inside to McGuane. Who's a soft free kick given against Anderson, but Oxford have it and quickly take it as well. Now to the left-hand side is Bennett. Inside is Brannigan.
I think that's a phrase that's used every single game these days.
It's back with Moore, who's bringing it forward. To his right is Smith, ahead is Rodriguez, and he's got Stevens on the right-hand side. Eden having to catch him up. Stevens with the ball across, and it's finished by Harris. Hector couldn't get goal side from the ball in. And Charlton having taken the lead, and now back level. Smith on the run on the right-hand side. Got to the ball from Rodriguez ahead of Eden. And Harris got beyond Hector, and it was a simple tap-in once he got there.
Yeah, and they've had promising moments in terms of the positions that they've been in, Oxford. They just haven't utilised that. But if you want to see how to attack across, rewind that to the start of the move. Just out of shot now. Harris absolutely breaks his neck to get into that near post position. And he's just more determined than his marker to get on the end of that. And the cross was inch perfect, begging to be put into the back of net, Oxford on level terms.
And now's the time to hand you over to Greg Stubley to lead commentate for the rest of this first half.
Yeah, cheers, Tel. A blow for Charlton, who took the lead early on through Chem Campbell. They've had chances since with Blackett-Taylor, but Oxford, certainly after about 11 minutes, started to grow into the game more. And that attacking threat of Rodriguez was shown with that assist to find Harris, who got ahead of Hector to make this game level. Oxford had the ball back. Dobson with the challenge, and Tane Watson will look inside to Anderson, and out back to Michael Hector. And Dobson down the line to Tyrese Campbell. Charlton looking to respond again. Campbell's got Anderson in the middle, goes further back to Dobson. And now Campbell will find Hector. So Oxford get bodies back. Jones inside to Anderson. It's a neat turn. Anderson's got Eden to his left, and Eden's touch forces him out wide under pressure. He's done well to keep hold of possession, but Charlton being forced back into their own half. Jones across to Hector. And Jones again. Drives forward for John, out defence. Flicks it towards the left-hand side, and Blackett-Taylor. He's got Chem Campbell behind him. That's where the ball goes. Campbell cuts inside, finds Dobson. Dobson towards Anderson. Flicked it towards his left. It might have come off an Oxford head at last. It has, and Charlton will have the throw.
Yeah, I didn't think this game was going to end 1-0. I don't think it's going to end 1-1 either, if I'm honest. I think both sides are guilty out of possession and being a bit too lackadaisical with their pressure. And both sides have got opportunities. Charlton have got opportunities if they can switch play quickly. They've got little 2v1 advantages in the wide areas that they're not making enough of. And Oxford, with their setup, will get players available in dangerous positions if they can find them.
Charlton trying to apply some pressures. McGuane out to the right-hand side, and Stevens has space to control. Inside to McGuane again. Uses Kieran Brown to his left, and Oxford will build from the back. The ball's inside to Moore, and across to Smith. No ball forward towards Rodriguez. It's a neat touch, but no one's there for Oxford, so Charlton will have the ball back.
Yeah, it went the wrong way. Should have side-footed out here to Stevens.
With the ball forward, looking towards Carnu. There's a decent run. It was a decent idea. Ball wouldn't quite bounce for Carnu.
Like the run though, off the shoulder, asking questions of the centre half, making that back 3, 5, 4, drop towards its own goal. At least the threat's there. Next time he may want to just drop his shoulder, come short to receive, but at least they know that threat of that dropping of the shoulder in behind is available. Carney will do it.
Ball forward to Brannigan for Oxford, back to Beadle. Goes short to Smith as Charlton will look to push up again. Smith, edge of his own penalty area, back to the goalkeeper, Beadle, who will look towards Stevens. Flicks it on, over the head of Jones. Does well to get something back there for Charlton, with runners lurking for Oxford.
Mate, you can't not track a central midfielder like that. Brannigan is free down the centre of the pitch. It's moments like that that maybe no one questions because the play filters out. But you cannot let a runner off your shoulder down the centre of the pitch. I think he came off Anderson. We have to communicate better. Not just look at the job we're doing directly in front of us, but scan, look around. Give Anderson a little shout. You've got to stay with him.
Beadle will go long, looking for Harris. Jones wins that header. Brown, an awkward header forward. Smith didn't quite get the contact he wanted, but it comes to Stevens nonetheless. And now McGuane will look to advance forward for Oxford. Out to Brannigan, out to McEachran, should I say, who's got plenty of time to turn. And Charlton inviting pressure. It's McEachran to McGuane. McEachran again. Behind him is Brown. Oxford enjoying possession at the moment. 26.5 minutes gone, 1-1. Is the scoreline as McEachran will switch the play out towards Stevens. It's a lovely ball and good control. Stevens looks for the early cross, but Eden prevents that. But Oxford will have the throw. Just taken back to Smith. Smith will have the ball again, and Charlton will try and put pressure as Brown goes back to the captain Moore. And McEachran across to Moore again. Brown to the left is Bennett. Under pressure from Tene Watson. It's a good challenge as well, and Charlton will look to break through Tene Watson. Bennett tries to bring him down. Watson continues his run. And Charlton maybe could have had a free kick there, but play continues as Brown clears it away. Dobson with the challenge, and it will be an Oxford throw.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit you have it, we have it game at the moment, isn't it? You know, if the opposition's in possession, let's leave them be. And sometimes when you sit and wait like that, it can be very, very dangerous. We've lost that impetus for sure. You know, the start was terrific. First 5-10 minutes did take advantage. Like I said, the way the game's set up, I can't see this finishing 1-1.
Beadle, low driven ball forward towards Rodriguez. Now Stevens, first time looking for the run of Harris. It's a good header from Hector. Eden will clear it away. Campbell flicks it on. Moore's there for Oxford. Jones up towards Carnu. Good flick from Carnu will invite the run from Blackett-Taylor, who will get on the end of this. Blackett-Taylor up against Smith in the penalty area. Onto his right foot. Little cross towards the far post. Tyrese Campbell's there. Lays it off for Chem Campbell.
Yeah,
Block comes in and Beadle gathers.
Listen, as it's coming across, you're thinking, even my brain's going, just set that first time. Just set it first time on and cushion it into Chem Campbell's path so he can come onto it and take the right foot shot. The minute you take a touch, you're inviting a shed load more pressure. And by the time you get the pass off to Chem Campbell, He's closed down too quickly to get an effective shot away. It's those little moments there you've got to be a little bit sharper, understand where the game's at a little bit more in terms of the ball's drifting, it's slow, get it out to the player waiting to receive quicker than that.
Oxford have the ball with Brown, who can bring it forward again. Glides past Anderson in the end, who brings him down. Certainly it's a different formation for Oxford than what they've played in recent weeks, and certainly felt like the first 10 minutes especially, it maybe took them a little bit long to get used to that.
And it was sloppy as well, it was slow, the tempo of the game was really slow. And okay, you're a possession-based team, you want to build up from the back, no problem. You want to find those two central midfielders that come short in McEachran and McGuane, but you can't get caught in possession early away to a team that's, you know, struggling a little bit and needs a result. I was expecting a real high-tempo start.
Double forward, looking for the run of Harris, who will be busy up top. You saw that of his goal. It's the nature of his strike play, trying to make runs off the ball. Zedden back to Jones.
Right.
No real Charlton player showing for the balls. Jones will go forward to Chem Campbell, and ball back to Ed has been pounced on, and Oxford will look for Rodriguez in a penalty area. Lays it off. Opportunity here for Brannigan, and Charlton get bodies across with the block. And Brannigan looking to get on the end of the ball again, and Charlton will clear it away through Chem Campbell. Tyrese Campbell will give chase to it. Kieran Brown's kept it in play and then fallen over. And Charlton have an opportunity here. Tyrese Campbell will go for goal and perhaps chooses the wrong option. That's a waste for Charlton.
Yeah, I mean, there's just littered with mistakes there in that last two passes of play that led to Oxford's opportunity. That was actually very well blocked again. You know, really enjoy seeing players getting out nice and tight, throwing themselves in front of the shots and making those blocks. And then ultimately you look at Brown and you're thinking, I know what you're trying to do, I know what your brain's telling you to do, but you've just got to be safety first. And even if you just pop that into the, you know, into the stand and get everybody behind the ball, what you can't do is what happened and leave Tyrese Campbell in possession, bearing down on goal. And the youngsters should really know better. You know, it's the quality of the strike. It's got to be delivered across the goal, really. You know, once you go high and right, pundits, you know, commentators will always say it's got to go across. Bottom corner, far bottom corner. If it takes a little deflection off the keeper, like we saw earlier with the save, comes back out to a Charlton player and he pops it into the back of the net, you're giving no one an opportunity in that situation to have a chance of scoring. Yeah, it's a poor strike from a really, really good opportunity. But that's why this game won't finish 1-1. Brannigan, moments ago, Hector made a really good header, but he went up with Harris. Brannigan was off the shoulder. No one tracked him again. And you lose that header and he's got a 1v1 straight down the middle of the pitch. And this is why I would suggest that it's not going to finish 1-1. There's too many things happening that aren't being battened down during the first 45 minutes.
Well, slight concern here for Charlton. It was Tanae Watson who was involved with that block from Brannigan's effort. And the consequences of it. Charlton have Nathan Asimwe on the bench if there is an injury, a like-for-like replacement. Other options for Charlton. Scott Fraser returning to the squad after missing out the trip to Bristol Rovers. Henry Ryler, Louis Watson, Terrell Thomas. Could be a debutant in Patrick Casey from a striking point of view as well. But again, it's another youthful bench, which we seem to say all the time, with the exception of Thomas, Fraser and Walker. Tanae Watson looks like he's going to be okay to continue, back to his feet. As I said, it was his. I'm not sure if he made the final block, but he certainly dived across. It was him and Jones, I think. We'll see here. Yeah, combination of the pair. A couple of important blocks for Charlton today. Brannigan has been a good goal scoring form. Scored 2 against Derby the other day.
Yeah, listen, he times his runs well. They're intelligent runs.
He's one of those players, Brannigan. You look at every season playing League One and thinking, how are you still in League One?
Yeah, but the concerning thing is that we haven't sort of...
As we'll break as Oxford look for Brannigan on the left-hand side. He's offside.
Yeah. Well, no, the concerning thing is we haven't sort of recognised it and found a way to combat it. You know, it keeps happening, and the reason I keep highlighting is because you think at one stage during the next, well, the second half and what's the rest of this first, what we've got 12 minutes in the second half, I can't believe he's not going to get in once. in all that time. The way that we're not tracking him and we are allowing him to break into the gaps that appear either between the two centre halves or between fullback and centre half.
Charlton have the free kick, and it's come across to Tyo Eden down the line towards Blackett-Taylor's direction, but it's been deflected out of play, and Charlton will have the throw inside Oxford's half. Eden goes back to Jones, who has time, and across to Hector. Jones again. Across to Hector. Tenay Watson back on the pitch, and he looked, I think he was looking for Tyrese Campbell. The ball got flicked on and Anderson gives chase. The ball's cleared forward. Jones will cut that out forward towards Anderson. Touches it towards Tyrese Campbell. Looks to take it past Bennett. It's a lovely bit of skill from Tyrese Campbell, and he advances for Charlton. Looks towards Carnu. It's a good run, and it's an important challenge, or intervention should I say, from Moore to prevent that.
Yeah, that's an excellent effort. A really good one off the shoulder from Carnu, and it's not the worst effort in terms of the pass. He asked everything of Elliot Moore in terms of experience to read it, get that telescopic leg out and make that block or interception.
Dobson, good feet to skip past McEachran, and Charlton have it with Tyo Eden, and they're building on this left-hand side again. Eden will find Blackett-Taylor, free for company now, goes back to Dobson. Dobson will look to switch the play across to Tyrese Campbell. Opportunity to take on Bennett again. He goes down the line to Anderson. Back to Campbell. Forward to Watson. Uses Anderson. Now Campbell and Anderson will have it again. It's back to Campbell. Forward to Tenay Watson, whose first touch lets him down. Oxford look to bring it away through McGuane. Forward towards Rodriguez. Ball goes through his legs, but that opens up a bit of space. He can go to the right to Stevens. Inside to Rodriguez.
Keep seeing Anderson run into that space behind the wing back when Campbell's got the ball 1v1. I'd just like to see Campbell have an opportunity to go 1v1 just to see if he's got the beating of Bennett. But Anderson keeps running into that pocket in behind, so Tyrese Campbell has to keep coming inside. You know, just leave him alone for a couple of opportunities to see if he's got the beating of the wing back. If he hasn't, then we can start to think about running in behind and ganging up, maybe Carnu to feet inside the penalty area. But let your winger have a go, at least a couple of occasions, to see if he can take him on 1v1. Then you've got to threat either side, because you know you've got the beating of both wing backs at that point.
Brown with the throw forward. Ball will come inside to Rodriguez. It's a lovely bit of skill which releases Brannigan, and out to the right is Stevens. Ed quick to shut that ball down, and we'll look to win the ball back for Charlton. He's done superbly well and finds Blackett-Taylor, and Charlton look to counter with Corey Blackett-Taylor. Cuts inside McEachran, no real option, so has to go back to Jones, who's got Tenay Watson in acres of space on the right hand side now for Charlton. So the ball forward towards Carnu, but Brown cuts that out and looks for McGuane. To Bennett, ball down the line towards Harris. Hector steps across, and Charlton will have the throw. Goes back to Jones, who's got Eden to his left. Inside to Dobson, who can turn. Cross right to Hector. Now Watson, back to Hector. Campbell makes a run forward. Hector looks for that, but he's put far too much on that, and Beadle will come to collect.
Yeah, the run was half-hearted as well, Greg. You're not losing a defender like that either. So I can understand there was probably a patience issue there. We've been patient. At some point, you've got to try something. But that was again forced. It was a forced pass on our behalf. The run wasn't good enough, in my opinion.
Jones steps across Rodriguez and finds Dobson, who looked for the run of Tyrese Campbell, and again it's overhit. And Beadle will immediately roll it out to Bennett, the left wing back for Oxford in space. So to McGuane, and now Brown. There's more, finds Rodriguez, back to Smith. Brown will look over the left-hand side to Bennett. Watson comes across, but Bennett holds up, playing back to Brown. Charlton still trying to apply that pressure. Oxford's trying to break down through to this man Rodriguez, and it's good skill to beat Dobson. Chem Campbell gets back, no free kick given. And Charlton will now look to break through Campbell. There's a bit of support. Finds Eden. Back to Jones. Across to Hector, who's got Watson on the right-hand side, and we'll find him. Watson, short to Campbell.
I mean, there's nobody in the centre of the pitch. You know, all our numerical advantage are out wide at the moment, and if you said he was playing central midfield, you wouldn't know at this current moment. Chem Campbell's dropping deep. Dobson in a left-back position almost. Chem Campbell receiving now in a central midfield position. Anderson's popped into a wide right or right-back position. You know, we're trying to move him around. But this is why people, you know, look at the shape of that out there. We have numerical advantages in wide areas. Move it quick, get that little 2v1 or 3v2 out wide and try and manipulate an opening.
Campbell slips as he got the ball. Oxford will have the ball back through McEachran. Campbell still down on the floor. Ball forwards, cut out by Eden. And Eden will drive forward now for Charlton. Blackett-Taylor on left-hand side. Blackett-Taylor in the penalty area. Goes on the outside. Can he get there? And cut out by Beadle in the end. It's a ball across goals. The ball's cleared up towards Rodriguez, who can't hold on to it. The referee wants to stop play now with Tyrese Campbell still down.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because, you know, Jones gets in front of Harris and he's driving forward, but you have to stop it at some point. You know, Tyrese Campbell's been down a while there, and that was as close to the halfway line as I guess the referee could call halt to proceedings. But yeah, it's a little quiet in here today. I think that's expected. Just looking at Tyrese's body language, yeah, it looks like he's in a bit of discomfort. Yeah, I think it's more landed on him, though. You know, in terms of it's not the challenge that's caused him the issue; it's the landing of the Oxford player on top of him that's perhaps winded him. I don't know, bumped him on the head. But if we can just shift it a little bit quicker, you know, whether it's from left into midfield to right or from centre half into wide areas, they do leave the channels a little bit open and then they press from inside to out. But if you're good enough and you're quick enough, you can get those little numerical advantages in the wide areas. Blackett-Taylor, I think, is, they're terrified of him. You know, they double up on the inside. You know, they're showing him the outside channel, and it was Beadle that blocked that last cross, not the defenders. You know, so just sometimes you don't have to overcomplicate. If your wide player's got the beating of a fullback, just keep feeding him the ball, letting him have those 1v1s.
The play's restarted. Tyrese Campbell's going to be okay to continue, and Charlton in possession through Jones. Back to Hector, has Brannigan close by, so goes back to Maynard Brewer. Looks towards Blackett-Taylor, do well to keep that in. Hasn't done so. Oxford will have the throw. Which Stevens will take. Throws back to Smith. Tyrese Campbell's back on the pitch. It's McGuane. Back to Moore, and now Smith. Looks to switch the play across towards Bennett. It's a good ball, but Bennett's run is mistimed. He's offside.
Yeah, but it was wide open. Tyrese Campbell just caught in front there. This is what I mean about little ganging up. They gang up, you know, and the movement of Brannigan there brings the full-back inside, which allows the diagonal off to the wing-back. And you either track the wing-back if you're Tyrese Campbell and we go a bit defensive, or you stay where you are and you hope that we can win it and find you on the counter. Luckily for us, Bennett had strayed offside.
Jones across to Hector. Jones again, heading to his left. Uses Blackett-Taylor, who's come inside for the time being. Out left to Eden. Rodriguez trying to track him, and Eden with the ball forward. He's just tripped by Rodriguez as he made that pass. The referee just wants a word. Ruben Rodriguez.
Yeah, ever since he didn't get that free kick earlier on, he's lost his head a little bit. Something happened just shortly after that where he didn't track back. He stopped dead, and I wouldn't have been happy with that if I was a teammate of his. And just there, he's lost his head again. He just needs to calm himself down, Rodriguez.
Blackett in towards Chem Campbell, who's mistime touch actually almost fell into the path of Garnu. And Oxford cleared it behind, but Charlton will have a corner.
Well, we're not notoriously adept at scoring from corners, so now's the time for a centre-half to step up and maybe give us the lead just before half-time.
Chem Campbell to take. Decent delivery towards Tane Watson, and might have come off Brown last. There will be another Charlton corner.
It's a bit last ditch at times, isn't it? On crosses into the box from Oxford. It was Brown again, and I mean, he didn't know really anything about that last clearance. You know, when he blocked the header at the far post even, he just took a calculated gamble and jumped into the air, and it actually hit him again. There he arrives late.
Yeah, not the tallest team, Oxford, and that's despite playing with 3 centre halves today. Chem Campbell to take again. Moore heads it away, only as far as Blackett Taylor. He's got Tyrese Campbell close by. Cross comes off the back of Harris, and Charlton will have another corner as Campbell will come across to take again. Oh no, it's going to be Blackett Taylor. Tempted with a short corner. Goes back to Dobson. Immediately closed down by Rodriguez. Steps inside. Dobson will go for goal. Hit it with venom, but it's over the bar.
Yeah, you don't mind that. You know, rather than just slowly amble over to the set piece and set it, or sometimes do that. Catch your opposition out, play it quick. Quite like the fact we got out to Dobson. The pressure wasn't quite good enough for Oxford. You know, the shooting opportunity was presented to him. Take it. You know, but you know, it's a good end to the to this half. We're on the front foot, asking questions at the moment of Oxford. Need to stay on that though until the whistle goes.
5 added minutes before the end of this first half. Beadle with the goal kick, headed away by Jones. Still 1-1 here at the Valley as Chem Campbell's touch. It's cleared away by Smith. It come off his own man. The ball's still not got out of play. Jones can calmly find Eden, who can turn and brings this ball forward for Charlton. Looks for the run of Blackett Taylor. Almost finds him as well. Blackett Taylor running inside, tried to take it into his path. It's certainly been a decent effort from Charlton in this half so far. There was that spell for Oxford when they got level and looked dangerous, but Charlton have had chances in this game.
Yeah, statistic. I mean, we've made some good blocks as well. You know, let's take the positives in terms of there's been some good blocks which perhaps we've been critical of. You know, that we haven't been as good as we should defensively and making, you know, getting out to players and blocking quickly. But statistically, it's a very even game at this moment in time.
It's Oxford take a few gambles, but do get out to Bennett, who's been dispossessed by Dobson. Forward towards Tyrese Campbell. Opportunity to take on Brown. Campbell with Bennett coming back, and he's made a good challenge. Probably needed a call there, Campbell. As Brannigan back to Kieran Brown once more. He finds Bennett. Goes down the line to Rodriguez. Looks to turn Dobson. Runs out of room. That should just be a Charlton throw.
Yeah, I mean, when you're turning into half a yard of space on the byline, you even if you'd have kept that in play, I think there would have been a thunderous challenge from Dobson. You know, as a defensive-minded player myself, I'd have loved to see him turn that way and show me the ball. I'd have got everything there.
Jones to Dobson. Long ball forward towards Campbell. It's a good one. Campbell inside to Anderson. Karoy Anderson looks to cross. Gets the ball again towards Chem Campbell. Edge of the penalty area. Campbell looking to just free up some space for a potential shot. That's been blocked, and Charlton have it back through their skipper. Now to Jones. Forward to Blackett Taylor. Now Eden. Goes back to Jones on the halfway line as Charlton look to create something again. It's been a decent half from them as Hector across to Watson. Inside to Anderson. Calmly back to Hector. Campbell makes a run forward. That frees up the space for a potential diagonal ball towards Eden, who controls nicely. Looks for the ball outside towards Chem Campbell. Moore will come to close it down. Campbell will get there first. Back to Blackett Taylor. Dobson makes a run forward. Jones is there for Charlton. Across to Hector again. Tyrese Campbell now. Tempted to take on Bennett. Instead uses Anderson.
Yeah, and this time he did leave the space. The space was there for him to attack, and he didn't take it on.
Hector across to Eden. Bring the ball forward. Tyler Eden towards Carnu. Cleared away by Moore, but again Charlton will pick it up. Oxford looking just to hold out before half-time as Dobson across to Hector. Now Anderson finds Eden. Eden tempted with a cross and does go for it towards Carnu. It's beyond his reach. And that should just roll out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and we only had 2 in front of the ball. You know, Campbell staying way out on that right-hand side. Chem Campbell's come out to the left-hand side. Blackett-Taylor's tucked into the penalty area of Kanu, and he's not in a position to receive a cross at that point. He wants it to feet in the box. So you literally cross into Kanu, who's well marshalled actually by Moore and Brown, and very little opportunity for him to wriggle free and try and get on the end of that cross. I mean, I think this is where managers do earn their corn in games like this, when it's, you know, could go either way. Both have had moments, both have had opportunities, slightly different styles. You know, it's down to the managers here what they've seen in that first 45 minutes and how they're going to tactically change little bits in terms of how you attack and how you defend. Could make that difference in the second 45.
Oxford have it through Rodriguez. Looks forward towards Harris, but Jones is there for Charlton. Up towards Kanu. Pressure from Moore. All deflects down. Rodriguez gets ahead of Anderson, but Kanu picks it up and has been fouled by McGuane. This could be a yellow card for the Oxford midfielder. First of the match.
I think without doubt that's going to be a yellow. But it's not the worst foul in the world. You know, the last thing, we've got to be close to time up, and the last thing you want is us breaking out, Charlton breaking out. So it's a good foul to take, I think.
The referee's had a decent game so far. First yellow card of the match. As Blackett-Taylor drifts inside. We'll go across towards Campbell. It's been headed away. And there's the half-time whistle. After 45 minutes, Charlton 1, Oxford 1. The Addicts got off to the perfect start when Chem Campbell converted after good work from Blackett-Taylor. And Campbell gave the Addicts the lead. And Charlton looked like, oh, I've got a second through Blackett-Taylor, forced a save out of Beadle. And then Oxford grew into the game. Ruben Rodriguez with a shot saved by Maynard Brewer. And then Oxford got their equaliser. Rodriguez's cross found Mark Harris, who got ahead of Hector to convert. And the half-time here is Charlton 1, Oxford 1. We'll hand you back to the Charlton TV studio, where Curbs will join Charlotte to go through that first 45 minutes.
Thank you very much, guys. So 1-0 at half-time, and I think Brownie said it really well in comms, Curbs. It's going to be a really interesting half-time team talk, because we were saying what an open game it has been, chances for both. Tactically, perhaps some tweaks could really have a significance in the second half. Give me your thoughts.
Well, I think both men. I think Michael will leave it for 10 or 15 minutes at least, and see how we start in the second half. It's a strange first half because we started off so well and scored a goal and looked really confident, and then I think Oxford grew into the second half, got their goal, and then since then it's been a very even game.
Has indeed, and don't forget that you can contact us in the studio via WhatsApp. Give us your thoughts on the standout performers. What do you think needs to change in the second half for Charlton to re-establish an advantage that they earn after 5 minutes? We were so pleased with the start. Chem Campbell with the goal. We wondered if there was a handball in the build-up, but we're going to watch it back now. You can make your make your case, Curbs.
From where we are, it's like an optical illusion, really, because it looks as if it hit his hand. And I think the Oxford players were appealing for handball. Let's have a good look. What
I like about the move, Curbs, and important to point out, that Chem started it with that tracking back and that tackle on the halfway line. Yeah.
And you can see him appealing, look.
Have we had a little bit of luck, do you reckon?
I thought it was handball, but let's have a look again. But to be fair, the ref's right on it. Look where he is, the ref. Comes back out.
Oh, it looks like it has, doesn't it?
It's hit his hand. Just slightly hit his hand, isn't it? It's popped up and then it's slightly hit his hand, but the referee's right there.
A fantastic move, again, Corey Blackett. Yeah. Look at the way that he's a magnet to all of those players, and Chem controlling the ball really nicely to then hit it sweetly with his left foot.
What's happened, I think, is they have ganged up on Corey Blackett since then. There's been 2 or 3 of them, you know, tracking him and not allowing him like the one-on-one so he can cause some damage. But he looked really lively that first 10-15 minutes, and I think he created 2 or 3 really good chances.
It felt like we were getting a lot of joy sort of down both flanks and some 2v1 situations happening. Again, I think the point was made in commentary that it was most effective for us when we were moving the ball quickly. Yeah. A little spell towards the end, we were almost saying it felt a little bit pedestrian. We've got to bring that intensity to our passing, haven't we?
I think Oxford were dropping off and saying, you know, you can play around us all day, but, you know, you ain't going to play through us. We found ourselves going from side to side. We couldn't hit that penetrative ball into people's feet, and you know, especially Corey Blackett and Campbell on the other side. If we can get them in the game in the final third, I think they've got the beating to both fullbacks.
And then the equaliser came for the visitors. Unfortunately, Curbs, a sense of deja vu in terms of the way that they attacked us down the wing, and it was pretty straightforward stuff. The hunger and appetite from Harris to get on the end of it.
It's a terrific cross, and I think Hector will be really disappointed that he's allowed Harris to get in behind him. I think it's a fantastic ball. Let's not take anything away from the cross. It's a brilliant cross, but I think Hector can't allow him to get in front of get behind him and get there and finish it off. He's got to cut that off. He's got to work harder to get in front of Harris and cut it off.
Danny Mills made the point before the game, didn't he, about one of his managers saying really doesn't matter what goes on between either boxes, it's those big moments, it's having that hunger, that desire. Every fraction counts and every centimetre counts.
I think as the ball's been played down the line, as a centre-half, the centre-forward's behind you, you've got to make sure you get there first. You've got to make sure that you stop the cross and get there first, and he couldn't get there, Hector.
Let's have a little look at the Charlton chances in the first half, and we were really praising James Beadle in goal for Oxford United, and we're then informed he's actually a Charlton fan, which makes it even worse, because that was a great save low to his left-hand side there, Curbs.
He's made some good saves. So has Maynard Brewer, to be fair. There's one, I think, where Corey Blackett gets down the line and the defender manages to get it away with his head. This is it. Yeah. Look, I think we definitely thought we was the score there. It's a great ball. He lifts it, just stands it up. 2 men again that he's got to deal with. It's a great ball, and I think we all think that's a goal. Peeling hand ball, but he hit the defender on the head. I think a lot of people were thinking that perhaps Campbell should have passed this, but I think he's got his head down, and I think the space was closed down. I don't think he could have passed it in the end.
Yeah, it was one of those situations, wasn't it? And then George Dobbo, he only scores spectacular goals, so he obviously saw the goal opening up for him there. Yeah,
just couldn't keep it down. But yeah, I think actually the way that both keepers are playing, it's going to take something a bit special to beat him at the moment.
So what do you think then will be the difference in the second 45?
Well, I can't see, if we're talking about up front, I can't see where we can change it, because we've got so many injuries there. No, I think Michael will leave it as it is and hope that we come out with the same aggression as we did in the first 10-15 minutes. The only change I can see, if he wants to, is perhaps Fraser coming on at some stage and asking Fraser to play in the number 10 and support the front players.
We're attacking the covered end as well. We really, really want to be giving the home supporters something to cheer in and making the most, particularly of that opening 5 minutes like we did in the first half.
It's been very quiet here again today. You know, once again, I think the crowd are waiting for the players to give them a lift, and you know, we need the crowd to start getting behind it. It's the first time I can't hear the boys singing. You know, we need to start getting behind the team as much as we can, because it is a bit, as I say, sparse, the crowd, and we need to pick the atmosphere up if we can.
We were also saying up here in the studio, weren't we, that this really felt like a game that would suit Alfie May, who's missing today due to a back injury. Michael Appleton said he kind of needed like a week's rest. He'd really fought to stay in the game at Bristol Rovers, but it's just so hard to think what he could be creating today.
When he came off at Bristol Rovers, the substitutions worked, didn't they? And I think the fans felt that he's brought Alfie May off, but he was injured, you know, so we know now why he came off. It
highlights as well, doesn't it? Because as supporters, we read into certain team formations, and when you've got loan signings, you're approaching January, there's so much that goes on in the background, so many things that a manager has to consider. But it was interesting when there was a little stoppage in play, Tanae Watson was receiving some treatment, Michael kind of really calmly relaying some instructions, talking to Corey Anderson in particular. Do you feel like that heart of midfield area is perhaps somewhere where we can impose a bit more authority?
I think Fraser will come on. If we don't get ourselves in the lift, Fraser will come on at some stage. But no, I think that Michael is looking at it now, and there's not many teams that have got 3 or 4 centre forwards out injured.
And I just think at this level or any level, it's just so hard.
Well, we're talking about the ones, you know, Alfie May, top goal scorer, but we've also got Miles out and Chucks and Tedic. You know, it's amazing, really, the amount of injuries we've got.
Tedic missing out as well with a concussion injury. Michael Appleton must just be thinking, right, see you later 2023. Like, I want to get this 2024 started. So on that note, Curbs, I found our conversation the other day about the transfer window really fascinating to hear what it's like for a manager at this tricky time to negotiate. What do you think will be sort of top of his list? I guess it's obvious, really, it's in the final third.
It's got to be. I think we've been saying all along, if something happened to Alfie, yeah, we are really stretched because Miles and Chucks are out for some time. So I think that's one area they may be looking at. And the other area I think will be defensively. Maybe a centre back or a full back, because when we have got one or two injuries, we're having to patch it up. So perhaps the top end and the bottom end.
Balance is so important, isn't it? And I'm sure that will be something that the club are working very hard on this month. Well, it is a home game, which of course means that we have the half-time Valley Gold Crossbar Challenge to look forward to. So let's head pitch side.
3 or 4 centre forwards out.
So one Valley Gold member or jacket ticket purchaser is selected for every game to have a go. And Curbs was nearly on the off of his seat then celebrating,
didn't it?
because it's Keith Crowhurst kicking for 2,500. Let's watch the replay.
He's got it, hasn't he?
That has got to be as close. VAR, can we have a slow down? What was the decision? So I'm getting told through official sources that apparently Keith's strike won't touch, but I think we've got a case for Keith, don't you, Curbs? Appeal, look, we've got the supporters behind us. Watch, this is one of the biggest talking points. Yeah, the supporters behind us here at the Valley nodding away.
Yeah.
Feel like Keith potentially was robbed there, Curbs.
I think he's at the bar.
Keith, we'll clip it up for you, Keith. We will appeal for you.
Yeah.
But
Who's made the decision?
I don't know. We'll have to do some digging, Curbs. I reckon you get a say. Use your influence.
Yeah.
We'll get Keith a replay of that to send through. We've got more coming up for you on Charlton TV a little later after this. Welcome back. Curbs and I are still in discussion as to whether poor Keith's crossbar challenge should have counted there. But let's refocus back on a big 45 minutes and actually reflect on some really good defending in the first half.
Yeah, well, I think we've been critical up here of some of the defending, but there were some terrific blocks made.
Yeah.
Hector especially made a terrific block. It looked as if it was going to be a certain goal. Yeah, so defensively, they've been more aggressive and hopefully that continues. It's going the other way. Have we got enough going the other way to get us the 3 points?
Let's have a little look at the Hector block, because the tight man marking was so important, and I think Lloyd Jones had a similar effort when we'd actually given the ball away, so it was having to atone for an error. But
I mean,
those are just brave
defending. That looks a certain goal. That was going in the bottom corner, and he's got his foot there. And there was another brave block as well. They've done well here, Oxford. He's laid it back. And that's going in the bottom corner. I don't think Maynard Brewer's going to get that. It's in the bottom corner. So that's a great it's a great block from the centre half. Yeah,
some really good defending there. We've got plenty of messages coming through on WhatsApp, so let's try and get through as many of those as we can. Mark says we look much better, an attacking threat on both flanks. He said, however, the first half is a snapshot of our season so far. Good attacking play, poor finishing and naive defending, and unfortunately we did see that, didn't we, with the run down the right-hand side. Robert says he wants to see more desire to win the ball for Oxford's goal, which is a point that you made as well. And Connor says Louis Watson needs to come on. What are your thoughts on that? You were saying maybe a toss-up between him and Scott Fraser.
I don't know what's happened with Watson, because I quite like him, and whenever he's played I think he's done well. There must be a reason why, and I think he's on loan, isn't he? And you know, perhaps, you know, if he ain't getting any football, he might be going back to his club. But yeah, I was saying Fraser because I think we need to get another goal, and I think Fraser coming on as a number 10 will give us that a little bit more going forward.
He's an older head as well, right? Yeah. He's probably one of the players that you think in the squad is one of the leaders on the training ground as well, and can perhaps be a boost to have that experience added to a very young squad.
He's been out, so he's nice and fresh. Yeah. He's obviously fit to be on the bench. So, yeah, I think that could be the move that Michael makes.
Because when I look at our sort of starting 11, those named on the bench, those not included, it is that mix of signings made, but also the loan market. As a manager, how did you work to try and get that balance in terms of the characters you knew you wanted around, but those that added a bit of competition?
Well, I think that, you know, looking at Michael's situation, it's got to be looking up top. If we get another injury to one of, say Alfie's out for some time, you've got 3 of your main centre forwards out, so you'll be scouring around now, and you know, if you haven't got the money, perhaps to go out and buy someone, then you'll pay a loan fee. You know, you'll negotiate with a club, pay them X amount of money to get the loan in and force their hand a little bit. But I think going into the window, you've got certain targets, what you want to, people you want, the positions you're looking at, and then you're still playing games and other things happen. And that's the problem, you know, and perhaps the player you want, or the club's agreed that you can have him on loan, then they take an injury and it stops that. So you're battling away really, and it goes right to the wire.
The thing is, the intensity around conversations about who's going in, going out has happened, and boiling point at the moment, of course, for obvious reasons, because the window's open. But I reckon that Michael Appleton, within the first month or so, probably had his list of targets, and he's kind of said that in a couple of post-match interviews. He knew the situation he'd walked into.
This probably wasn't the centre forward though.
No.
I mean, this is unprecedented.
We were spoiled. Well, you made the point.
Yeah, you know, Chucks, Miles, and now Alfie out. You know, hopefully Alfie will be back next week. But to have 3 major centre forwards out at the moment is tough. And I think Dean Holden had the same problem. Yeah. So yeah, I think they're probably looking at least 3 players coming in.
What have you made of Daniel Canoe in the first 45?
I think he's found it a little bit difficult. We haven't managed to play to his strengths, which is getting in behind defences and using his pace. Hopefully, with so many games being played, 1 or 2 players in the Oxford team might start to tire, and we might see him come through. Unfortunately, there's nothing that Michael can do about that because of the injury situation.
There was one really nice ball played off from one of our centre-backs over, and he just played off the shoulder so nicely. That was kind of the glimpse of what he does best, right?
Yeah, I think he needs them sort of balls to chase onto. But the Oxford back 3 or back 5 or whatever, they've managed to really curtail him. They're dropping deep and he ain't got nowhere to run, really.
And it looks like Tanae Watson will hopefully see out the rest of the game, because that was a bit of a tense moment again. You're thinking, oh gosh, another player, a knee injury, not looking good, because again, that would be such a shame, because he offers a lot going forward for us.
Absolutely, yeah. It don't look as if we've made any changes.
No, it doesn't.
So I think Michael will leave it for 10 or 15 minutes at least.
Well, look, Julie has said the worst decision of the day was the crossbar challenge. I'm going to hand you over now to your commentary team and let Terry Smith, Greg Stubley and Steve Brown tell us what they thought from their position up in the gantry.
Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. Well, no disputing whether we think it's hit the crossbar or not. So much so that Brownie's offered to pay Keith the money that he's owed. Haven't you?
Yeah, I feel sorry for the fella. I called it straight away. We see it live and it goes out a minute later on the streaming, and I was fuming that they didn't allow that. It was clear as day. It clipped the bar.
Well, no changes at half-time here. Well, Brownie finds his wallet as kick off towards the covered end, and Tyrese Campbell, the header on. Kanu gives chase, but cleared away by Kieran Brown. And Hector heads forward. McGuane with the touch. Dobson's there. McGuane again, this time clears up in the air. Tanae Watson underneath this and completely miscues his header. It's Harris, the ball forward. Jones heads it away. And Watson tries to get on the end of it. Oxford throw.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to make any mistakes in these early moments of the second half. It started a little bit in terms of turnovers. It's 3 or 4 already, but it'll settle down. We'll go into a pattern, but no changes. I just listen to Curbs there. We haven't got too many options, have we? Let's be honest.
More across to Brown as Oxford look to start the second half. How Charlton started the first is Brown with the ball forward towards Bennett. Caught with Tanae Watson last, and it has. Corner given.
Yeah, I just think it's the time of year as well. At times the game just seems to be a little bit sluggish, just a little bit. It just,
well, the amount of games probably.
Absolutely, and it's understandable, completely understandable. But at times you look at the tempo of it, and I think both teams have to take the time, to keep possession and let things slow down a little bit, but just because of how they're feeling physically.
Oxford with the corner, Brannigan to take. Trying to have everyone back as Brannigan towards the near post. Tanae Watson gets something on it, and Dobson with a further header, which Tyrese Campbell will get hold of for Charlton. He's not got a lot of support, so he's going to carry this forward. He's still with it. Tyrese Campbell shows good bit of pace, and he's still with it. Campbell inside the penalty area on the outside. Campbell, he just takes it a little bit too far. It's a hell of an effort.
Right, this is the point I was making first half. Let them see that pace. Where's that been? Why have you been so reluctant to take wing-backs on and full-backs on when you can put the afterburners on like that? Even the threat of that is a bonus for Tyrese. I know we didn't get an end product off it, but suddenly everyone's gone, oh, he's actually quick. And that puts the fear of God in any full-back, any wing-back. So I'm glad he put the afterburners on. Let him have it again. Let him take on the wing-back. And you don't have to overcomplicate as a wide player. If you've got the beating of them pace-wise, use that first.
Oxford take some chances, but that's the way they like to play their football. And McEachran out to Bennett. Oxford's left-hand side, back to Brown. Now Bennett again. Inside to McEachran. Pressure from Anderson. McEachran tries to chip it over. Watson towards Joe Bennett again. Charlton will have the throw instead. Hector throws across to Jones, who can go to his left to Edham. It was a decent day here in SE7 until about 3 o'clock, where the rain has just continued to fall. And Hector will find Jones. Now Edham forward towards Campbell. Picks up the ball, goes on a run, does well. Looks for Corey Blackett-Taylor, more spotted the danger and had to come across.
Yeah, I like the way we're looking a bit more positive as individuals in terms of taking our man on or our opponent on. That's two players, Chem Campbell and Tyrese, now looking, you know, when they get the ball to feet, to actually be proactive, not just slow the game down, pass, drive at the opponent, commit.
Watson inside to Dobson, looks towards Carnu, cleared away by Brown, and McGuane can pick this up in space and he can bring the ball forward. Past Dobson, but not Hector. Inside to Dobson, who's got time to turn. Comes back inside when Oxford were getting bodies, and again with a neat turn. Left-hand side is Blackett-Taylor. Edham runs ahead of him. Inside to Dobson again. Switches the play across to Campbell. Opportunity to take on Bennett. Campbell goes on the outside. Ball inside looking for Anderson, was read by Bennett. Now McGuane goes back to Brown. Carnu with the challenge is a good one. Carnu will give chase again and does well to prevent the ball back to Beadle, and is there to play for a goal kick, and a bit of appreciation from the Charlton crowd for that effort.
Yeah, good harassing from Carnu, and I quite like the fact that Anderson left that space for Campbell. He didn't beat his fullback, but then Anderson offered up a position inside the penalty area to receive to feet. Really like that setup. Campbell couldn't quite get the ball into Anderson's feet and it petered out, but I quite like the way we manufactured that setup.
Edham under pressure, tries to go back to Maynard Brewer, and challenge from Rodriguez forces out wider than the goalkeeper would like. He does clear it forward. More underneath this. Carnu's coming back from an offside position, so Oxford will have the free kick.
Yeah, I mean, we've not had this, the electric start of the first 45, but we've been on top there in terms of the attacks we've mounted. We just haven't created anything off the back of it.
Oxford with the free kick, and here's Brown. Stepping forward. Side to McGuane. Anderson again. Try off for that bit of pressure. Middle midfield as Moore looks towards Harris. This ball forward, picked off by Dobson, up towards Carnu. Now Tyrese Campbell on the right-hand side for Charlton. He's got space to bring this forward as well, Campbell. Looks at the cross towards Chem Campbell with a header. He was onside as well, Campbell. It's a wonderful cross. Campbell couldn't guide his header on target. That's a chance for Charlton.
Yeah, that's excellent all round in terms of the build-up play, how we got it nice and quickly out to Campbell on the right. The touch and the delivery was exquisite, right in the channel you want balls to land if you're attacking. Chem Campbell just got it horribly wrong. I think he's tried to suggest something was in his eye line and he couldn't see the ball properly, but that's a wonderful opportunity, well created, that we should have taken advantage of.
Talking of well created, Oxford have done well to work it out on this left-hand side now to Bennett. Opportunity to take on Watson. Goes on the outside of Watson, who stays with him all the way and forces the cross to be in the path of Maynard Brewer.
I just feel like Oxford have started quite similarly to the way they did in the first 45, which is, you know, finding their feet. It took them quite a while. It took them a little bit longer than I expected for them to get going.
It's great work from Chem Campbell. Finds Carnu. Has been tripped by McEachran, who was aware that Carnu had space to bring the ball forward, and McEachran is booked by the referee. McEachran denying Charlton the ball forward. And yellow carded. Now McGuane and McEachran, the middle of midfield, on bookings. There's Jones to the right to Hector. Inside to Anderson, who's got time to turn. Out to the right is Watson. Uses Tyrese Campbell down the line. Held up by Brown. Inside to Anderson.
Yeah,
tries to glide past McGuane, but again that right hand side has become a bit congested at times.
Yeah, it was too tight. The run over was too tight. You know, you're not giving yourself anywhere to go. You're attracting 4 Oxford players over into a really tight square, no more than 10 by 10, and it's got to be real intricate play at that point, or inventive play. Yeah, I think it was nice support from it.
Oxford gift the ball back to Charlton as Campbell on the ball now to Tyrese Campbell. Chance for Charlton, it's a block from Brown, stretching. And Oxford just playing themselves into trouble. It was initially cut out by Carnu, found its way to Chem Campbell, found Tyrese Campbell. And if it wasn't for Brown, Charlton may well have had a second.
I think that's a save.
Oh, it might be a save, yeah. No, in fairness, you're spot on, Brownie. The direction of the ball.
Only because I've got the benefit of replay, Greg.
Chem Campbell to take. Well, just before he does, the referee's not happy with something, so we've got time to roll over your eyes, Brownie.
Best part being a summariser is you can wait for the replay, and then. But it's
typical. We've got a TV replay today, Brownie, when you're here.
Yeah, of course. But that is a wonderful save from Beadle. Oxford guilty of bringing that on themselves, really. They've started sluggishly again, as they did the first 45. They need to get going sooner rather than later. But that's a great save from Beadle.
Chem Campbell to take the corner. There's grappling in the penalty area, but Oxford headed away and will look to break through Brannigan, who looks to switch the play across towards McGuane. It's a lovely idea. Tyler Eden trying to get across, and he's done superbly well to get the pace to do so, and won Charlton a free kick.
Yeah, and that was an opportunity for Oxford to counter. They had a little 3v2 there. The diagonal was hit a little bit early for me. I thought that should have been driven out with a lot more, commit a few more players, try and get a pass into the centre of the pitch and then control it from there. You know, certainly the opportunity was on. But, yeah, going back to that, I mean, Oxford giving it away. We manoeuvred the ball really well into Chem Campbell. Great turn out to Tyrese Campbell. First touch, I thought, got away from him, but it just fell in close enough proximity for him to get the shot away, and it was a decent shot. Low and hard towards the Oxford goal, and Beadle's made a fantastic save.
Well, ball forward from Maynard Brewer. Fouled by Chem Campbell allows Oxford the opportunity with the free kick to send bodies forward. It's Brannigan, step across to take. With a high line, Brannigan prepares to take. And towards the edge of the penalty area, Moore with the header. It's comfortably wide. Charlton have the goal kick.
Yeah, you know, the important thing about high line, low line, whatever you want to, is first contact. You know, and I don't like the fact that Moore's got away from somebody and won the first header. We should be challenging that. Luckily, the direction of the header and the power of the header was way out, but I'm seeing a little bit of movement on the Oxford bench. I'm not surprised. I don't think this has been a particularly strong start from them, second 45.
And on the ball forward, Chem Campbell, good control. Goes on the outside. It's prevented progress by McEachran. Imagine it might be one of the central midfielders who may make way, given them on yellow cards. Oxford do have the options of Billy Bowden, Danny's son Stanley Mills on the bench as well. From an attacking point of view, James Henry, a very experienced player. Campbell just limping away after colliding with McEachran. It's Eden to take the throw. Into Blackett-Taylor. Eden gets it back to Jones. So they're up to Hector. Inside looking for Anderson, but it's a wayward pass that McGuane gets hold of, and Dobson had to get back, and it was a good interception from the Charlton captain, and it's a lovely ball to find Campbell. More space behind him than he realised, tried to take in his path. And the challenge from Bennett results in a Charlton throw.
Good start to the second half from Charlton though. Been bright, been lively. Like I said, a couple of individuals willing to drive at players and commit. We've had that one great opportunity for Tyrese. Good save from Beadle. And again, it's the same as the first 45. When you get these little periods that start to become dominant, you've got to try and take advantage while you can, because Oxford will get stronger, I'm pretty sure.
Hector with a header forward. Might break the way of Blackett-Taylor, who does get a touch. And Beadle will step out of his goal and clears it away. Jones first to the ball again for Charlton. Here's Eden. Got Dobson inside. Dobson bring the ball forward. Looks towards Carnu. Carnu's a decent touch initially, but can't get away from Moore. The ball's up towards Brannigan. Dobson in with a challenge again and wins the ball back for Charlton once more as Tene Watson in space can bring this forward for the Addicts. Looks for the run of Campbell. It's a lovely ball. Tyrese Campbell across goal looking for Carnu. Cut out by Brown, but Campbell will have the ball back. Lays it off for Watson. Inside to Anderson. Now Dobson. He'll go for goal, but his left-footed effort comfortably wide and maybe the wrong option in hindsight.
Oh, yeah, massively the wrong option. On the weaker side, 25+ yards out. Eden square, 15-20 yards across, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to get out to him. And if they do, there's options with Blackett-Taylor and Carnu in front. But what disappoints me, I guess, the most about that last attack is that it was really well constructed. And as Tyrese Campbell drew his foot back, he's got Carnu to hit, and there's 3 players arriving, but they're outside the penalty area. You've got to try and anticipate a little bit better when we're playing balls into our wide players. You know, leave your spot then and charge into that box, arrive at pace and at the right time to receive the cross. It's very difficult as a wide player just to pick out Carnu when you're up against some experienced centre halves who are marking very closely.
Well, Billy Bowden is the man to be introduced. He replaces McEachran. There's a little bit more of an attacking self, which we'll see Brannigan drop into midfield 2 for Oxford as the ball forward. Jones stretching for the ball and high foot catches Harris. Free kick for Oxford.
Yeah, clearly a versatile player, Brannigan, because he's just slotted into the bottom of that midfield unit. And Bowden's gone in quite an advanced area. I'm not sure he's going to be in a box midfield. I think at the moment he's slid almost into a front line.
Yeah, late challenge from Jones results in a yellow card. Charlton's first of the afternoon.
We've been competitive as well. I thought just moments ago when Dobson and Anderson got around, Oxford's midfielders, they were competitive, they were aggressive, they won the ball back. It led to Campbell having that opportunity on the right.
Free kick taken by Oxford, out to Bennett. Bowden's first contribution. Now Bennett again. Back to Brannigan. Goes back to Moore. And McGuane will find Brown. Left-hand side finds Bennett. To Brannigan again. Across to Moore, who can use Smith to his right. Smith once more. No real options, has to go back to Moore. Now Brown. Carnu with pressure. Brown took a chance by stepping forward, but gets it back to Moore. Up towards Stevens. Nice first time ball inside to Rodriguez, and then Stevens across to Bennett. It's a lovely ball, and Bennett allowed to control. Bennett whips it across. Harris wins the header. Doesn't guide any sort of power to it because he was on the back foot. Now Brewer will gather. Dobson to Campbell. Inside is Anderson. Look towards the left-hand side, and Edinburgh gives the ball away. And Oxford look to make him pay with Brannigan. Out to the right to Stevens. Rodriguez makes a run forward, instead uses Brannigan again. Now McGuane. Inside to Bowden. Thinks about a shot, but instead will use Bennett to his left. Now McGuane across to Brannigan.